What's going on, fam? This is Raul from QBN Kennel. Many of you have asked for the bully pit to be broadcast, and that's exactly what we're going to bring to you tonight. We're going to be talking about a conversation that we had within the giant American Bully breed group where we interacted and we answered many questions. Not just that, today you're going to get our interaction and our reaction. So here we go in 3, 2, 1, let's go. First and foremost, before we get to it, I want to go ahead and give a special shout out to the Giant XL American Bully Breed Group, Mr. Daryl Thrower. You're doing great things, man. You're actually putting the agenda on the table. You're putting topics that people don't want to talk about, but they need to talk about and they need to hear. So let's get to it. All right, fam. So basically the question was asked, what would new breeders want from the older breeders? And what would the older breeders want from the new breeders? So it's rather simple. It's very straight up. So let me go to the first comment. I see a lot of older breeders that's willing to give knowledge, but I also see a lot of older breeders that spend too much time being keyboard warriors, talking crazy when questions get asked. I have to say that this particular comment definitely sticks out. It's something that happened to me when I first started breeding, and it's something that I've seen pretty much become a cycle where the older breeders just feel that they're up on a perch, high and mighty, and they just want to step over on these newer breeders. Fam, let me tell you something. If you're a breeder, I don't care if you've been you've been doing this forever or you just started doing this. Bottom line is, breeding is a lot, and I've said this before, it's a lot like a baseball team. You know how you have major leagues, AAA, AA, and 1A? If you're starting out and you're just like a 1A team, sooner than later, if you're making the right decisions, you could possibly lift yourself up to AA. What I will also say to the older breeders that have been doing this for a while, just because you think you're in the major leagues does not mean that one day you could become a AAA or even a AA team. I've seen it quite a bit. At the end of the day, I feel that the new breeders and the older breeders, we both have to say what we want from each, and we got to kind of meet each other halfway. Dedication to the breed and a vision that is something consistent in their own. That's what I would like to see from new breeders. A lot of experienced breeders, especially show breeders, push an anti-your vision rhetoric. We go back to the almighty dollar, fam, and don't let anybody fool you. Whether it's an older breeder or not, whatever the case may be, if somebody's trying to deter you from your vision, what it is that you want to do, as long as you're within the confines of the conformation of the breed, that person is trying to pretty much set you up in their little pyramid scheme, okay? Where you're pretty much stuck like they are in the yard that they have constructed. And so honestly, fam, when it comes to breeding, let me let you in on a little secret. There's plenty to go around for everybody. Just plenty to go around for everybody. Whether you're a breeder that wants to sell pups at $8,000, $10,000 a piece, whether you're a breeder that just started out and you're selling at $1,500, $2,000, $2,500, whatever the case may be. As long as you're producing better than what you currently have, there will always be a market for you. And it's rather simple, fam. All you got to do is grab your pup and place him next to that stud. And if that pup is better than that stud, then you already know you're improving the breed. You're improving your line. You're improving your yard. You're improving your brand. But if you got that stud and he's your main stud for the next 4 years and you haven't produced a dog to take his place, you're not competing within your own yard, fam. And the minute you don't compete within your own yard, you become stale. The same goes with the females. If you got the same female producing dogs after dogs, and yet you do not have a female to take over her place, and you're still producing her, you as a breeder, you have failed, fam. So at the end of the day, don't let anybody deter you from your vision, as long as you're within the conformations of the breed. And don't let somebody put you exactly where they want you. They want you in their pocket and behind them. If you find yourself in that position, it's time for you to figure things out, fam. I get asked all the time simple questions like, how do I prepare for my female to give birth? How do I know how to pick the right puppy? What are the flaws that I should be looking for? What flaws can be fixed, which can't? Fam, all that can be answered. All you got to do is go to YouTube, type in QBN Kennel, and you're going to see our educational videos on many different subjects breaking it all down for you. It's right there in the video. You don't even have to read a book. All you got to do is go there. Again, QBN Kennel on YouTube. Click on a video, chillax, and get some knowledge. Now let's get back to it. Why do people hate so much when it comes to these dogs? I don't see why people put so much energy into bashing another person or their dogs. Is honestly becoming exhausting. Right. I mean, I couldn't agree with you more, and I'm going to tell you right now, the majority of the reason, or the main reason, as to why people putting hate out there is because they don't want to compete, man. They're afraid of competition. They feel that because they've been doing this for 5-10 years before you came around, that their little perch should be respected this way. You know, they could defend their economic interests, and it's really not about producing better dogs or even creating a better bully community. It's all about defending their little perch. And I got news for you, older breeders. You know, this right here is like the ocean, man. It really is. I mean, just because you came in and it was low tide, it doesn't mean it's never going to be high tide. And today you could be up here, tomorrow you could be down here. So if you're not practicing, you know, what you preach, and if you really are not improving your kennel at all times, sooner than later, that one stud that got you a big name, and it's already been 3 or 4 years since that stud did that, sooner or later is going to become stale. So, you know, you got to raise your game. You know, I say that to a lot of the older breeders that I've seen. Not that all of them are not dynamic, but some of them are not. And that's how you grow stale. If you grow stale, you don't want competition, because now you know that you've been had. New breeders, I'm going to tell you right now, man, if you're following a name or you're just following an older breeder for the fact that he's an older breeder, you know, at the end of the day, is that breeder giving you value in return? Specifically, if you're buying a pup from this breeder. You know how many times I get a comment, you know, hey, you know, how do I register my puppies? I just got a puppy, you know, paid $5,000 for him. Can you tell me how to register him? And, you know, I go ahead and let them know, but I'm going to tell you this right now. That responsibility lies on that breeder that sold you the pup. So, you know, you new breeders, whether you know it or not, you actually got the key in your hand, man. You really do. Why? Because if you're spending $5,000 on a breeder that's not even helping you, you're actually encouraging that breeder to act in that manner. Therefore, if you don't spend the money on that, they got to change their ways. They pretty much got to up their game and stay in their lane. So I'm letting you know right now, fam, new breeders, you actually reinforce us older breeders, whether we help you or we don't. And older breeders, man, I'm telling you right now, y'all better pick up your game, because if you think that same dog that you had, that same stud you had from 3 years ago, 4 years ago, is going to work for the next 3 or 4 years, you got another thing coming. I get asked many times, what's the main thing that keeps a yard back? What's the #1 flaw? It's this right here, fam. It's not even the dogs. It is the breeder. When you go kennel blind, it's game over. If you're not your #1 critic, it's game over. If somebody could tell you something about your yard, it hurts your feelings because it's true, it's game over, fam. You should already know what your strengths and weaknesses in your yards are. Now, new breeders, pay attention. #1 question you should be shooting at any breeder that you're about to buy a dog from is, what's your yard's #1 flaw? What's the main flaw in your yard? Because there's not one yard that is perfect. And therefore, you want to know what that breeder is starting or trying to improve on in order to be in line with what you're trying to do in your yard. Keep that in mind. Fam, many of you have asked me about supplements that are out there. Let me talk to you about one that I know of, and that's this right here, Gorilla Milk. Matter of fact, you buy your own ingredients at home and you make it and you give it to your dogs absolutely free. All you got to do is pretty much go into our YouTube channel, QBN Kennel. Go and find our Gorilla Milk video. Check it out. You can feed your adult dogs. You can feed puppies. You can feed dog at any stage. And you're going to find that your dog is going to muscle up, and it's actually going to save you money in the long run. Again, Gorilla Milk. You can check it out on our channel. Let's get back to it. Just quick announcement for those of you that follow us, and those of you that actually have pups or pup pics in the bone, dome, and stones litter. Just letting you guys know, our girl Genesis just started bleeding. So we're going to start doing progesterone testing her in about 3 to 4 days, see where she's at. And we'll take it from there. We'll be giving you more updates. Fam, so I hear you want to get a free QBN cake pup. All you got to do is rather simple. Share, comment, and like our content, and you're going to be entered to win a QBN cake pup. I want to thank you. This has been the first video that we made with the Bully Pit podcast made into a video. I want to thank you for watching us all the way through. Also, if you want to bring up a comment, let us know how we did, what we can improve, any ideas you got. We really appreciate that. Also, if you want to be interactive with us, you could join our The Bully Pit group on Facebook. All you got to do is go into Facebook, type in The Bully Pit. We're going to come right up. Just click on there, ask for membership. We'll let you in, and we hope that you bring in any type of questions that you got that we could bring onto the show, and we can discuss it and break it down for you directly. Again, fam, I want to thank you. This has been Raul from QBN Kennel, and this has been The Bully Pit.